It's a still, clear night on Scotland's Bute Sound. 3 trawlers move quietly through the calm waters, their lights drifting like distant stars across the dark bay. Each vessel drags its nets deep along the trench below, their engines humming softly as they cross paths from time to time. The captains keep a sharp eye on the black horizon while the deckhands labor steadily, adjusting ropes and winches beneath the glow of lanterns. Unseen beneath the surface, however, something else is moving. A series of small, unnoticed events have already begun to unfold in the cold depths below them, and for one of these boats, a simple turn of the wheel will soon become a turning point of fate. This is the story of the Antares. Loch U, Scotland. The HMS Trenchant, a nuclear-powered Trafalgar-class submarine, sits moored in the grey stillness of early morning. 82 meters long and crewed by 120 men, she looms like a silent steel leviathan over the misty loch. It's a dull, overcast day as 6 trainees and their commanding officer prepare to board. These men are candidates of the Royal Navy's infamous Perisher course, a brutal 24-week program designed to test whether they have the skill, nerve, and judgment to command a submarine. Known for its unrelenting pressure, it's considered one of the most difficult command courses in the world. Their commanding officer, 41 years old, carries over 18 years of experience aboard vessels like this. It's been a decade since he completed his own Perisher course back in 1980, and now it is his duty to decide who among these men has what it takes to lead a nuclear submarine. Once aboard, the Trenchant departs toward a designated training zone between Scotland and the Faroe Islands. There she spends 4 days running simulations and navigation drills, each designed to test the trainees to their absolute limits. It's 11 p.m. in the small fishing village of Carradale. The 4-man crew of the Antares prepares for a routine 5-day voyage. They load the vessel with provisions and supplies before casting off into the night. Their destination, northeast of the Isle of Arran, to the deep trench of the Bute Sound, a familiar and prosperous fishing ground. The Antares, a wooden trawler built in 1965, measures 57 feet in length. Her skipper, a 36-year-old fisherman with years of experience, purchased her 3 years prior and has sailed her continuously since. To him and his crew, tonight is just another normal trip at sea. Nearby, 2 other trawlers, the Heroine from Troon and the Hercules from Ayr, work the same area. Over the following days, the 3 vessels remain in close contact, occasionally crossing paths and exchanging short radio calls. On the evening of November 21st, the weather could not be better. Light winds, 8 miles of visibility, and an air temperature of 11 degrees Celsius. The Antares briefly docks at the port of Largs to offload her catch, then departs again at sunset, returning to the southern end of the Bute Sound by 5:30 p.m. Her crew sets their lines and begins towing northwestward under the calm, dark sky. Ahead of them, the Heroine can be seen moving on a similar heading. The skipper of the Antares picks up his VHF radio and contacts the Heroine's captain. He tells him he's going below deck to rest for a short while, leaving another crewman at the helm. After a brief exchange, both men sign off with a simple "over and out." By this time, the HMS Trenchant has completed the first phase of its exercise in the North Sea and is heading south toward the Clyde training area, now accompanied by the surface ship HMS Charybdis. At 11:30 p.m., the submarine begins a complex, dummy mine-laying drill within the narrow Hunter Channel. The Charybdis acts as an opposing force, while the Trenchant executes evasive maneuvers to avoid detection, a technically demanding task in such confined waters. After completing the channel run, both vessels move into open water to perform simulated attack scenarios. At 1:31 a.m., the Trenchant ascends to periscope depth to locate her target. Through the periscope, the officer on duty spots only the naval vessel. No other ships are visible. After 30 more minutes, the exercise concludes, and at 2 a.m., the Trenchant descends once again to a depth of 60 meters, setting a northwesterly course toward the Isle of Arran at 6 knots. The course leader and commanding officer retire to the wardroom to review the candidate's performance, leaving a trainee officer in command under supervision. Meanwhile, on the surface, the Heroine tows northwest, passing the Antares, which is now heading southeast. 10 minutes later, the heroine's watchkeeper looks back and notices the Antares turning starboard, back onto a northwesterly tow. Everything appears normal. At 2 a.m., the heroine and Hercules communicate over radio. Neither can see the Antares by eye or radar, but both assume she has simply changed location. No alarm is raised. Below the surface, the trenchant sonar operator begins detecting multiple contacts: M1, M3, M5, and MA-45. M1 is identified as the Charybdis, now departing the area. Contact 5 is recognized as a fishing vessel. Its acoustic signature grows rapidly louder. Without realizing it, the submarine is approaching dangerously close. The sonar does not reveal exact distance, but at 35 decibels, the contact is alarmingly near. The trainee captain orders a sharp turn to port. The sonar operator reports the fishing contact is closing fast, well within the required 2,000-yard exclusion zone. The trainee adjusts the rudder, trying to slow the approach, but it's too late. At 2:19 a.m., the submarine shudders violently. Loud metallic bangs echo through the control room. The sonar controller yells, "Trawl snag!" Engines are immediately stopped. Above them, the Antares trawl wires have caught on the submarine's hull. The cables tighten like steel ropes. Inside the Antares, chaos erupts. The boat jerks backward, its deck tilting sharply as the trawl gear is ripped through the water. Within seconds, water crashes through the wheelhouse. The crew is thrown from their feet. The skipper and one crewman fight to escape, but the flooding is too fast. They attempt to restart the engines, no response. They try to smash open the windows, too late. The Antares rolls to starboard and sinks beneath the dark surface, disappearing with all 4 men aboard. Aboard the trenchant, confusion reigns. The vessel halts. The captain returns to the control room and orders a surface check. Through the periscope, the night appears calm. 2 trawlers can be seen fishing as usual. Nothing seems amiss. Upon surfacing, the crew finds steel wire and chains tangled around the submarine's fin. But with no visible distress on the surface and no radio mayday received, the captain assumes there has been no accident. At 3:15 a.m., he reports the minor snag to Naval Command at Faslane, and the trenchant resumes her training exercise. Hours later, by 9 a.m., reports begin to spread of floating debris in the Butt Sound. Oil slicks and fish boxes are spotted from the air. Search and rescue teams are dispatched. By afternoon, divers locate the wreck. The Antares, lying 150 meters down, resting on her starboard side. The vessel's hull is largely intact, a haunting image of stillness on the ocean floor. Only the electrical systems have corroded, the structure remains whole. Recovery efforts continue for weeks. 3 bodies are recovered. 1 remains missing for months. The investigation concludes that the collision was caused by a breakdown in watchkeeping and situational awareness aboard the trenchant. The crew mistook 2 surface vessels as 1 sonar contact, failing to maintain the required 2,000-yard safety distance. As a result, new Royal Navy directives were introduced. Submarines must now maintain at least 3,000 yards separation from fishing vessels, surface whenever not on operational duty, and conduct training exercises only with visible surface escorts. For the families of the Antares, these measures came too late. Her wreck was raised and later placed on display at the Scottish Maritime Museum in Irvine, where it remained for 18 years before being dismantled in 2008. Today, at the pier in Carradale, fishermen still prepare their boats, nets hanging over the water as they once did. But on the east wall, a single brass plaque stands, a final tribute to the Antares and her 4 lost crew. The sea remains calm, as if nothing ever happened, but the story lives on beneath its surface.